Jerusalem Talmud, Tractate Challah, Chapter 4, Mishnah 2. Mishnah. 2 kabim and a cob of rice, or truma, or heave, between them, do not combine. If a thing of which challah was taken is between them, they do combine, since already they are subject to challah. If a cob of new grain and one of old bit one another, Rabbi Yishmael says that one should take from the middle, but the sages prohibit this. If somebody takes challah from a single cob, Rabbi Akiva declares it to be challah, but the sages say it is not challah. If challah of 2 kabim was taken separately, when he then combined them together into one dough, Rabbi Akiva exempts, but the sages obligate. It turns out that the severity becomes a leniency. Halacha. Should one have stated rice, but not heave? In other words, truma. If we had stated rice, but not heave, we would have said that rice does not combine, since it is not of that kind. But truma, heave, which is of that kind, should combine. It is necessary to state heave or truma. If we had stated heave, but not rice, we would have said that heave is not combined because it is not dragged in, but rice, which is dragged in, should combine. It is necessary to state rice and heave. A kav of rice does not combine. A kav of dema does not combine. A kav of heave does not combine. A Gentile's kav does not combine. A kav of another kind combines. A kav of another woman combines. A kav of new grain combines. A cob of something of which challah was taken in the middle does combine. Rabbi Abun Bar Chia asked, does a cob of challah combine? Rabbi Chalafta ben Shaul stated, a dedicated cob does not combine. A cob of challah does not combine. What is the difference between dedicated dough and challah? Dedicated dough, hekdesh, may be redeemed and made obligated. Challah cannot be redeemed and be made obligated. Half a cob of wheat, half a cob of barley, half a cob of spelt. He takes from spelt for what is needed. A cob of wheat, a cob of barley, a cob of spelt. He takes heave, truma, from each one for what is needed. He said only a cob of wheat, a cob of barley, a cob of spelt. Therefore, this is not about a cob of wheat, a cob of barley, and a cob of spelt in the middle. Rabbi Abun Bar Chia said, Rabbi Chanina, the colleague of the rabbis, asked, what is the difference whether spelt or barley is in the middle? Rabbi Cohen, in the name of the rabbis of Caesarea, spelt combines with wheat, not because it is the same kind, but because it looks similar. Since it is far from it, it does not look similar. Rabbi Jonah asked, is it the same for animal tithe? As you say there, if he had 5 obligated ones in Kfar Chanina, 5 obligated in Kfar Othne, and 5 free ones in Sephoris? As you say there, if something of which challah was taken is between them, they do combine. Is it the same in this case? If you say that challah is different since there it bites, are these 16 mil not as if it did bite? We find challah from practice, we do not find animal tithe from practice. Is Rabbi Yishmael not correct? Spelt and wheat are 2 species. Since they are similar, you say they combine. New and old, not so much more? Rabbi Hila said, the reason of the rabbis is that spelt and wheat are two species, and people will not err to say that one may give truma and tithes from one for the other. New and old are one species, and if you say so, one will think that one may give heave, truma, and tithes from one for the other. Rabbi Akiva compares it to not fully processed produce. If one transgressed and gave heave, truma from it, it is heave, it is truma. But the rabbis compare it to produce not yet 1/3 ripe. If one transgressed and gave truma from it, it is not truma. They had second thoughts and said, it is similar neither to not fully processed produce nor to produce not yet 1/3 ripe. But Rabbi Akiva compares it to the case of him who says, this is truma for the fruits when they will be taken, and they were taken. But the rabbis compare it to the case of him who says, this is truma for the fruits when they will be taken. For these fruits, when they will be taken, I'm not sure what the difference is between Rabbi Akiva and the rabbis. Okay, anyway, they wanted to say what Rabbi Akiva said, Challah may be taken from a kav, from practice, not as a biblical standard. Since we have stated Rabbi Akiva exempts, but the sages obligate, this implies that it is by biblical standards. It turns out that the severity becomes leniency. Some Tanaim state the leniency becomes a severity. He who says the severity becomes leniency refers to Rabbi Akiva. He who says the leniency becomes a severity refers to the rabbis.